course, just a quick thought on this debut and just the emergence, the crazy emergence of this crypto world that's taken over.
Well, I think today's a real inflection point for its legitimacy. Over the next few weeks, we're going to see if it has staying power or if it's the bubble that lots of the naysayers think. I agree with both of Lisa and Sylvia's thoughts in terms of the future, but from a trading mentality, that's what we have to watch. The volatility has to calm down to some level of stabilization.
All right, let me ask you about these markets. We've been sort of, drifting higher, but the market breadth, the internals have been so at best. And of course, now we can see the S&P has turned lower earlier today and the NASDAQ turned lower. What's going on?
Well, the last couple of weeks, we've talked a lot about the mega caps and the NASDAQ, and that sort of took over. And even though it's exciting when it happens, it doesn't really reflect the health of the economy overall. So we started out today seeing some rotation into the Russells, back into the transportation, and back into retail, which are the inside sectors and definitely better in terms of the GDP. So that's what we have to see continue in order to see the breadth improve. Now, interestingly enough, NASDAQ went right to 340. That was our target area, and it's selling off a little bit. But we really got to keep our eyes right now on those Russells. They have to hold up above that 50-day moving average at 222. Nice even number.
And Russell, of course, really the best gauge for the domestic economy. It has been like gangbusters, outperforming all the other indices, and I agree with you there. Sylvia, let me go to your wheelhouse because it seems like one of the problems for the market in general has been too much supply, right? We're talking about Coinbase today, IPOs, direct listings, SPACs, even in your neck of the woods, ETFs, more than 100 launched already this year, dwarfing historic numbers. Is there just too much supply out there, and could that cause more problems?
No, I don't think that there's too much supply necessarily. I think we started the year hot. We had over 87 billion of SPACs out there. They have about $1 trillion of acquisition capital. In terms of ETFs, as you said, 100 came out. If you look at the filings, though, there are hundreds of them pending. It takes 60 to 75 days-ish to get an ETF to go live. So you'll see more come out for sure. I think that, this gives you access to new emerging technologies, and it's just cooling off, pulled back like growth, but I anticipate it to heat back up.
Michelle, when you come on, you give us some names. What are some of your favorites right now as we're in this sort of weird period for this market?
Well, I definitely like banks, and with some of the earnings coming out strong, particularly in Wells Fargo, that's one to keep an eye on. But besides that, thinking out of the box, as you said, Charles, in the beginning, I really am still looking at gold here. Commodities have just been surging, and that's across the board, including oil finally catching up today. So with lumber and steel and copper and sugar and food commodities all going up, gold is still languishing, and that inflation's on everybody's lips. So GLD, 161's got a hold, 164.
That's bold. That's a bold one. That's a bold one. I'm with you on energy. That's a bold one. Less than a minute, Sylvia. The administration talking big about supercomputers. That's in your wheelhouse as well. In fact, one of your ETFs is that Quantum Next Gen Computing Fund. How would these sort of investments help that area?
So trillions of dollars are going to go into infrastructure. Billions will go into specifically this space. So it's artificial intelligence, it's machine learning to do things like better improve the way we manage utilities, defense, cybersecurity. Quantum computing allows data to be processed faster and more efficiently than ever, and that'll really help us compete with places like China. The second big thing is just 5G, connecting rural and urban America and equalizing technology and communication. So massive future of technology.
Your funds have been absolutely on fire, and I think they're going to stay that way. Michelle, Sylvia, I love you, Michelle. You're gone for gold when everybody else is running away. We'll see how well that does. All right, folks, corporations, speaking of running away,